My name is Mad Skills, and you are now tuned into the Spark Something podcast. And right here, I want you guys to be the best version of yourself. I want you to live out the life that God is calling you to live out, because there'll never be another you. And no one else can do it the way that you can do it. Not with the flavor God has given you. So with that being said, welcome to the show. Let's go.
My name is Camille S. Daly, founder and CEO of CSD Creations, Creative Sublime Designs. What do you want your audience to know about your business at first glance? How we show up visually is impactful and is proven that consistent, cohesive, high-quality graphics leaves a mark in the minds of your customer. How do you want to make your customer feel? Branding is more than the visual standards, but also the overall experience your company provides. Together, we can dive in and ensure that we will achieve your all-encompassing branding goals. Services include logo creation, print media such as signage, brochures, flyers, digital media such as graphics for ads, social media, and simple animations, website building and management utilizing the Squarespace platform, and consulting for branding, strategizing, and customer experience. So what are you waiting for? Connect with me today at csdcreations.co.
Guys, what's going on? This is your girl Mad Skills. Welcome to another episode of the Spark Something podcast. We're gonna just go ahead and jump right in this thing. I am home right now. It is a beautiful Thursday afternoon. It is raining outside now. It is thundering and lightning. So if you guys do hear any like thunder, lightning, roaring, it's going on outside, and you know how I am with this whole podcast thing. I'm in my closet, y'all, so I can hear it. I'm hoping it doesn't come up on the microphone and on the episode, but if it does, that is why. I said all of that to say, if you guys are out there and you're working on becoming the greatest version of yourself, you're working on trying to figure out how to take over the world, you're working on purpose and walking out purpose and becoming a better version of yourself, I want to say I applaud you. Thank you so much for finding or working through finding out purpose and walking out your purpose and giving your entire self to humanity, and not being afraid to allow your light to shine. So I want to thank you guys for doing that, because I am very, very, very appreciative of people like you. I'm so thankful for people like you. And I know that people like me aren't out here in the world, probably out here looking crazy to some people, because they're like, why are you starting this? What are you doing? Why don't you just go ahead and just settle? They don't say settle. They don't say settle in life and live like this. They say you go out there and get a job. Go out there and support your people. And nobody really talks about dreaming, and nobody really talks about going after the things that you really want to do. I didn't grow up with people pouring into me like that. So for my people that are out here listening to this podcast, I know that you are special. Anybody that's sharing this podcast with somebody else, I know that you are special. I know that they are special. And I thank you so much, not just for listening, but for walking out this thing, because I know that it is difficult. And I mentioned the rain because even though I'm inside, the rain can be a representation of it getting dark in this time. For some people, this is the very beginning for you. I know it's the very beginning for me. I was actually listening to a couple of my episodes before I started recording this one, and I'm like, yo, it's about to start raining. This thunder and the lightning is about to happen. But when the rain comes, and the rain could be a representation of it not looking so great, because I looked out the window before I started this and I saw how dark it got from how beautiful it was this morning. So I remember being in college. I'll say this. I remember being in college, and my wonderful, amazing professor, his name was Dr. Pollock. I remember him talking to us about the blue sky effect. And the blue sky effect is pretty much, I think that was the name of it, the blue sky effect. But he pretty much was telling us that it's not always going to be blue skies. There's going to come a time in your life, and I graduated from college in 2014. So the simple fact that I remember this, there's certain things in life that people tell me that I will take with me for the rest of my life, because I can think about it, and I can think about how bad, life has gotten, or how, how uncomfortable I am in a season of my life. And it will bring me back to certain conversations that I've had with people and certain gems that have been dropped and placed in my life. But I never forget this. He said, in your life, it's not always going to be blue skies. I think this was our senior year. We were actually just starting our senior year, and he started like really talking to us about, hey, it's not always going to be easy. It's going to be complicated. Life is going to be tough. It's not always going to be blue skies. But I'm learning to dance in the rain. And I don't mean literally dance in the rain. Like, I can go outside and dance in the rain if I wanted to. But when it's raining in your life, when there's dark clouds, there's thunder, there's a storm going on in your life, I need you guys to learn how to dance in the rain. And what I mean by that is, I need this rain and this storm not to be a distraction for you. I need this rain and this storm to be something where you're like, okay, it's another day. And the simple fact that I'm getting the opportunity to wake up and to live this day and walk this thing out today, I'm still going to give today everything that I have to give today, because today isn't tomorrow. Today wasn't yesterday. Today's a new day, and you have to understand that within the new day, there's newness that's going to come. You have the opportunity to command your day. You have the opportunity to pick and choose how you show up in the day, regardless of what that day looks like, regardless of what that season in your life looks like. You still have to show up as you. That was a plug. Go back a couple episodes and check out that episode, Show Up As You. You still have to show up. If you're out here working through some stuff, and you're healing, and you're growing, and you're maturing, and you're becoming, and you are walking out your purpose, learning how to live in purpose and not in survival, you are going to have to learn how to dance in the rain. You are going to have to learn how to find comfort in those uncomfortable seasons. You are going to have to learn how to allow God to give you peace in the middle of the storm. You're going to have to find the eye of the storm. And I mean, you're going to have to find the eye of the storm and sit there. When everything else is raging around you, when things aren't making sense, when things aren't turning out the way you want them to, when life starts to get hectic and we get confused and we don't always understand, trust me, I get it. But I need you to show up, and I need you to learn how to dance in the rain. Dancing in the rain looks like you continuing to move even when it looks as though there's nothing. Even when it looks like there's nothing going on, I need you to continue to move when there is. And I'm not saying to be a robot. No. I'm saying to remain focused on why you started. It's always going to go back to why we started. It's always going to go back to why we're here. It's always going to go back to purpose. Is this storm distracting you from walking this thing out, or is this storm going to be what pushes you to continue to move forward? You have to pick and choose how you are going to show up. You have to pick and choose how you are going to respond. Now it's raining here. And my first thought process, I'm not going to front with y'all, was to go back to sleep. Like it's raining, it's nasty outside, but you know what? This will be a good time to take a nap. When you get older, you learn to enjoy naps in peace and quiet. This is a good time to take a nap. And I could have gone back to sleep, taking a nap. Who knows? I might take a nap after this, or I might just, turn on the TV, get me some popcorn, snuggle up, or, maybe binge watch a show. I got some other stuff I need to work on, but learn how to stay focused when the storm comes. The storm is only going to last but so long. It's not going to rain all day. It's not going to rain all night. I live in Florida. It rains on and off. It rains when the sun is out. So you never know. You have to learn how to be flexible out here. And that's one thing that I'm learning in this season, is you have to learn how to be flexible. Like, you have to be the flexible one. Especially in seasons and in things that you have no control over. You can't allow when things are out of control, out of your control, like you can't tangibly fix it. I can't pinpoint here and go here. Like, I can only control how I show up, how I respond. I can't control anything other than that. So when you have no control over it, I want you to not allow it to control you. I want you to not allow it to get in you. And how you do that, because I can give you guys pointers of don't do this, don't allow this to affect this, don't allow this to affect this. I need you to remember your why. I need you to remember what God gave you. I need you to look to the hills from where your help is going to come from. I need you to go to God about everything. And I do mean everything. In those dark times, go to God. Listen, I learned from a very young age to come to God with everything in prayer. Pray about everything. It's not always easy. It's not always something that I've done, but I'm learning to be more intentional about it. I'm learning to be more intentional about it. I'm not perfect. I don't always make the right decisions, but I'm learning to be more intentional about how I show up, how I respond. I have to be. Because when you're called and when you're chosen and God has placed this light in your life and on your life, you have to be intentional about how you steward that. How you steward your time, how you steward your life, how you steward the light, your gifts, all of that. You have to be intentional about how you steward what God has given you. And how can you be intentional? You have to, when the storm comes, learn how to say, you know what, God, you will give me peace in the middle of my storm, and I will trust you, and I will believe you, and I will have faith that you are still God, and this thing did not come to kill me, but to make me stronger. And it's true. It's true. I don't wake up like that every day. I'm going to say this because I don't want anybody thinking like, oh yeah, okay, well, I guess you got it together. No, I'm learning every day. Today I chose to show up. And I'm thankful that I did. Today I chose to show up. And why did I choose to show up? I wrote something down a while ago. Actually, I have my notepad with me, but I wrote something down, and I was just actually skimming through it because I was writing something yesterday. So I wrote down, you have to submit to the mission. Submit to the mission. The mission that God is giving you, the purpose that God has placed on your life. Submit to God and submit to the mission. Because once you submit to God, submit to the mission, that is where your focus is going to come from. That's where your why is going to come from. When it starts to rain and lightning is flashing and thunder is roaring in your situation, in your life, submitting to the mission is going to be what keeps you focused. It's going to be what keeps you on your pivot. It's going to be what helps you to keep going, because you know that it's greater than you. You know that the mission is greater than you. You know that it's bigger than you. It's not just, all right, well, I'm just doing this just because. No, you know that there's purpose attached to this mission. So submit to the mission, because living out your purpose is the goal. That's another thing I wrote down. Living out your purpose is the goal. In order for you to live out your purpose, you have to submit to the mission. And I believe I said this in another episode. You are lacking nothing. Everything you need is already there. I did say this in another episode because I remember saying, God doesn't bring anybody here with the thought process of, oh, I feel like I need this. I feel like I need that. No, you are lacking nothing. Everything you need is already there. It's already there. When God created you, He said it is finished, it was completed. Then it is already there. It's already there. So when the storm comes, when the rain comes, when you feel like I can't do this, I need you to remember that we are living on purpose. Purpose is the goal. We have to submit to the mission. So I'm hoping that this was helpful. This was actually a short one, guys, but I'm being more intentional about saying what God has told me to say. Keep it moving. If He drops anything else, it might be a part 2. Who knows? But I just wanted to encourage you guys, because I know there are people out there, because I got some friends out there. I got some friends that's listening to this. It's some people out there that's like, all right, well, I'm working this thing out, but deep down I saw it. I believe it, but I'm in a different season of my life. Don't allow what it looks like to change your view. If God gave it to you, it is going to be fulfilled through you and in you, but I need you to stay focused. Trust me. If you wait, if you keep doubting, if you have this thought process like, "Oh, I don't know if it's me. I don't think it's me. I don't think I can." You never will. Trust me, you never will. I was sitting here before I pressed record on this episode, and I'm listening to my old episodes. Mind you, I started this thing in 2020. It's 2022. I have stopped and started this podcast at least about 2 or 3 times. This is the first time that I'm actually saying, you know what? I'm remaining consistent in this thing. Like, I'm deciding to show up. I'm deciding to show up, and I'm allowing God to say whatever it is that He wants to say through me, but I'm deciding to show up as this version of who I am right now. If you guys listen to some of my older episodes before I started remaining consistent in July, I think it was July. So we're in No, it was in June. It's crazy. So I think June 8th was like our first, was like number 6. I think that was the episode for number 6. Um but that was the first consistent episode. So we're like June, July, August. We're in the month of September now. So for the last 4 months, excluding 2 weeks out of those 4 months, so I'm gonna say 3.5 months, I have remained consistent. Um, so much has changed. The way I look at things, my outlook on if I can do this has changed. It's just remaining consistent, trusting God, allowing God to move, allowing God to be God of this entire thing, wanting so much to do this with Him, for Him, and not without Him, and try to do this on my own. I don't make all my decisions. I pray and I trust God to lead, and um, I allow God to be God of this entire thing. Now, where it goes is where He'll lead me, and I'm just doing what He asks. That's it. That's all I can do, is do what He asked me to do. It's not perfect. I'm still learning. You can listen to different episodes. There's a lot of things that have changed, stuff that I'm trying, but I'm learning and I'm figuring out my flow, my pattern. But I'm trying different things to see what works and what doesn't work. Cuz one thing about me is God is all I have. God is literally all I have, and it has to work. It has to work because He's all I need. So it has to work. There's no, oh, well, what if this doesn't turn out? You know how many gifts and talents God has given me to walk this thing out? I'm just being obedient in the season that He has me in. That's all I can do. And that's all that makes sense. That's all that ever made sense. There are 2 weeks out of these last 4 months, and it was the last 2 weeks of August where I didn't drop an episode. I beat myself up for days. And what happened during that time, I guess we could go ahead and extend this and make this a full episode. But what happened around that time, and I talked about it a little bit, but there's ET said this, and I mentioned this a couple episodes back, where he says you can't overcome the old you to get to the new you. And I definitely remember mentioning that. And it all comes back to me after a while. And I went backwards. I started thinking like, I don't know. And I remember feeling defeated. I remember feeling like, dang, I'm letting myself down. I'm letting down people who are actually paying attention. Like, I know what God gave me to do. And a lot of us just think, okay, God gave it to me, I'm going to just go for it. Like, there's a person that you need to become. Because if you could just start and keep going and never quit, never give up, you would have done it way before now. You would have done it already. If you're like, okay, yeah, I can do this, and you just go for it and kill it and just keep going, there is a version of you that wakes up after a while when you remain consistent. There's a version of you that stands up and says, okay, I was waiting for you at the door. I was waiting for you this whole time. There's a version of you that wakes up when you continue to get a no. There's a version of you when you start to believe. All I need is one yes. And I got my one yes. God said, go for it. He said, go for it. That was the yes that I needed. There's a version of you that literally, and then there's the opposite. There's a version of you that wakes up when you keep hearing no and you're looking for that validation. There's a version of you that wakes up for validation. God didn't put that in you for you to be seeking for validation from anybody, from nobody. You're lacking nothing. Everything you need is in you. Remain focused. Learn how to dance in the rain. Because every day isn't a blue sky. But every day God allows you to wake up is another opportunity. Whether it's a blue sky or not, it's another chance to go. It's another chance to do. It's another opportunity to become. Whether it's a blue sky or not, it's another one. And how you show up matters. How you show up when you don't want to show up matters. When it's blue skies, command your day. When it's not blue skies and it's pouring outside, command your day. Because when you start to command your day, when the sun is out and everything's going great and everything's flowing, when you command your day, then in the good times, in the bad times, you'll learn to command your day also. Because it'll be embedded in you. It'll be in you so deep. It'll be like rooted in you to where you're like, okay, if I can command my day in the good, I can command my day in the bad. Because a lot of the times when things are bad is when we draw closer to God. We draw closer to certain things. It's like, it doesn't matter if it's good, bad, indifferent. Draw close no matter what. It doesn't matter if it's good, bad, or indifferent. Draw close no matter what. Command your day no matter what. Trust God no matter what. I don't care what the day looks like. It's another day. It's a new day. It's a new opportunity. Show up. Show up. Show up. Show up. Show up. Show up. Doesn't matter what the day looks like. It's good, it's bad. You're living it. Show up. Now, if you don't have it all together, you're still trying to figure it out, it don't matter. Show up as that version of you trying to figure it out. Show up as the work in progress. That's another episode. That was a little nugget. Go ahead, go back a couple episodes, watch that one too. I'm telling y'all, everything is connected. All of these episodes are connected. Every last one of these episodes is a byproduct of an episode from before. It's all connected. I need you to show up as you every day. Make the decision that you need to make. You are the work in progress. Trust me. If you are you and you learn to stay focused on what God is calling you to do, no matter if it's raining, no matter if it's sunny, no matter if it's snowing, no matter if it's a hurricane, it doesn't matter what it looks like. You are who God chose for this season. You are who God chose. You are handpicked. Will the real you stand up? Where the world has been waiting. The world has been waiting. And that's even for the people who I was applauding earlier in the episode. Stay focused, man. We got this. Honestly, it was the rain outside that actually made me drop this episode, because I'm like, dog, that's a word that can be for somebody. That somebody is for me. That's me. That's for me. I'm the somebody. But I love you guys wholeheartedly. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for showing up as you every single day and walking this thing out, working through some stuff. You are beautiful. You are needed. You are important. The world is waiting for you. God has already poured in you what you're supposed to be doing, submit to the mission, submit to God's will. I'll see you on the other side. I will literally see you on the other side. Stay focused, stay consistent in what God is calling you to do, and you will be fine. You'll be fine. I love y'all. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for all the likes, the love, the comments, the shares, the support, the subscribing to my YouTube channel. God bless each and every one of you guys. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, bro, we done hit another mini milestone. This is episode 20, baby. What? Let me go. This is episode 20. I'm excited, bro. This is crazy. This is insane. If ain't nobody else happy for me, I'm happy. This is episode 20. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. If y'all need prayer, feel free to hit me up, DM me, email me. Everything is in the description. The links to everything, music, all that good stuff, YouTube channel. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. This has been your girl, Mad Skills. This is another episode of the Spark Something podcast. And I hope this sparks something in your life. And I'm out. Peace, baby. Let's get it.